Hello, all of you. Hello, 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 hello. I hope all of you are doing well. So, there are some students from my previous batch and some from my current batch, some from my very first batch, and some, of course, newcomers. So, I welcome you all. Just waiting just few minutes more so that we can. Hi, Daneshwar. Just waiting for few more students to come and then we'll start. So, all those who are new, let me know if you're very new to this subject, like if you're exploring or you're already preparing for this subject. I'll just give my introduction when I start the PPT. So, let me know how many of you are already preparing for this subject and how many of you are still exploring or it's very new or giving the attempt in 2022, yeah, 21 also. Okay. Just gets me an idea now कि कितना बेसिक से समझाना है. Just few minutes more. Okay. Meanwhile, अगर आप लोग if you could just also tell me what language you're comfortable in, whether you want me to talk in English mostly or Hindi is okay because is its mother tongue and no slip हो जाती है बीच बीच में. And okay, bilingual is okay. English. Okay, okay, okay. I'll try to do both. Um, Also tell me what are you basically expecting from this seminar, so I'll also keep that in mind while I'm explaining. Seminar or webinar, whatever this is. Like what is your difficult area? If let's just say uh like you're giving a 10 2022, what all do you expect? Okay, basics of paper one, yes. Paper one trend analysis, okay, that will do. कोई रिसर्च वाला बच्चा नहीं है यहाँ पे? Anybody who's only here to understand research? That I think is like one of the most highlighting um, unit in terms of preparation also, and people get very, very worried also. See, so the thing is, once I start presenting, I won't be able to see who is there outside waiting. So apologies for that. If you by chance miss or if any of your friends miss, then you can definitely contact me. I can definitely provide you with the downloaded or the recorded session. I also record my same session and provide it to all the students. So without wasting any other time, we can just skip and we can just start with the presentation. Um, Please keep your volumes down. अभी तो आपने down ही रखी है. I'll take the doubt session and the query session in the very end. So आप ऐसा कर सकते हैं. You can either write any questions or anything, maybe probably note down while you're making like listening to whatever I'm saying, or you can simultaneously write it on the comment section. So whenever I come back, I'm gonna read it. Or in the very end, when I give you the doubt session time, you can turn on your volume and mic and talk to me. Right? I hope that sounds cool. Um, Okay, so just starting with the brief overview that we'll see today कि आज हम basically करने क्या वाले हैं. I'll keep shifting from the sharing screen option to coming back because some people keep waiting outside. Okay, so if we start with a very overview that we have, I'll obviously talk about my educational background because some of you are new over here and of course my experiences. Then we're going to start with key points to remember before starting your preparation. So it's just not going to be paper discussion straightforward. I will also take up a small, you can say, I'll give you some hints and points that how you should basically start your preparation. एंड अगर आपने ऑलरेडी स्टार्ट कर दी है, इफ देर इज एनी गैप, you can just see. Then we'll see the paper one pattern, what kind of questions, pattern in the sense how many questions do you really have to attend, how do you basically choose the questions, what markers are there, word limit, and so on and so forth. A very quick um, review of the question paper pattern that they provide, and then finally the analysis that we are going to see today. And of course, important takeaways, key points की पढ़ने के बाद कैसे करना है, attempt कैसे करना है, how can we fetch more marks, how do we answer questions that we don't basically know, right? And then of course I'm going to take you to your doubt sessions. Just coming back for a second if anybody is waiting. No, nobody is waiting. All right. So I'll start with myself. I hope you have seen my beautiful face. I hope it's beautiful. Okay, so I'm Nimisha Srivastav, and I've done my bachelor's, my master's. I've also cleared UGC NET twice in 2018 and 19, all in psychology. And after that, I also did a PG diploma from IGNU. So, so many years of experience, you can say, studying psychology, right? I had psychology right from my 12th standard, 11, 12th standard, and because of a lot of hard work and understanding NCRT very nicely, I was able to score 100% in my boards also. Okay. But yeah, the main point is I am eligible for teaching psychology. Why? Because I've already cleared an NET examination, which is the National Eligibility Test for Lecturership. I am eligible for being an assistant professor in colleges, in degree colleges, right? Apart from that, my interest area is clinical and counseling psychology. I personally at times take people or clients for counseling sessions. Basically, I'm a counseling psychologist. Okay, if you have seen, read your NCRTs and basics nicely. Currently, what I'm doing, I'm taking psychology optional batches. So I've started this in June. Before that, as you can see, I was teaching as an educator in a NET JRF coaching center. After that, lockdown हो गया, COVID हो गया. Then I started my own work. So June में I started with my very first batch. Some of the students are here. Um, so we took two batches then. Currently, I'm running a batch for December, which will go on till March or April. Apart from that, I also own a very small business of soya wax candles. So I sell that. I look after the social media handling, client management, and all sorts of things. Apart from that, I've also worked in a clinical setting where I was dealing with patients with clinical disorders and depression and all of those things. And I was also part of many researches, as you can see. I have about 5 or plus years of experience in research methodology or research methods, as you want to say. So, doing lot many projects as a part of my curriculum and all of those things, right? So, if you want to read and just ask me. So my skills include qualitative, quantitative research, documentation, and so on and so forth. Apart from that, I'm also NLP practitioner or a life coach, you can say. I've been presenting my paper for a long time, but I've presented one paper in one of the very important, you can say, National Academy of Psychology, which is one of the very premier seminar that happens yearly. So I presented a paper there, and rest is history. Okay, so more like less blabbering about me. Coming back to the key points before you start. Just one jump. If anybody is waiting, nobody is waiting. There's a comment. Let me just read. No, so no, I'm not teaching for UGC right now. Also, I started my journey for psychology educator. See, I can give you a brief history. In 2015, no, in 2017 and 18, I did started my preparation for UPSC, taking psychology optional, but I did not take any coaching for that. I was preparing for GS, so I took coaching from Vajiram and Ravi, which is like, a very premier institute of the coaching. But when I went there and I understood everything, just trying to see that area. Anyway, so yeah, this one, August to 17 to present. So when I was there, I was studying there. I saw the pattern of teaching, and I basically gave two attempts. I was not able to clear, and then I finally realized that it's not really my cup of tea. Basically, I want to settle in Delhi only, but I really love psychology and I love teaching psychology. So when I saw the notes that were being floated and the kind of education that was being provided in the institutes also, and apart from that, I felt I can do justice to this subject. And the material that was being provided, like so many notes are being floated, we all know of whom's. Um, so I felt that, I can do better in those terms. And since then, I started my own YouTube channel as Get Psyched, and I do at times upload few videos there. I started from there, and I keep helping students. I think it's been 3 years or so, by giving them free material and trying to analyze their answers and so on and so forth. Though I'm not a very, very social person, social in the sense that I'm not very, very active in that way. So that is why I do not message a lot and talk a lot, because I'm kind of introvert. I'm very, very shy. But yes, this is I try to help. So people have been reaching out since 2017 for guidance, for books, for materials, because I really have a lot of material, lot of you can say good stuff for this preparation. Why? Because we should not really stick to only Barron or Cicerelli and on the Pathak sir's note which are available. We should have like more material, and I felt that psychology is a field that mostly everybody is interested, but because there's so much lack of guidance, proper mentorship. I mean, only I think Vajiram is the one. Then there is I think Magnus, and then there is Beautiful IS, and I think Rao's coaching. यही लोग हैं जो दे रहे हैं. कुछ के तो मुझे इतने अच्छे रिव्यूज नहीं मिले हैं. एंड आई थिंक बाजीराम्स रवि नॉट टू मेंशन, बट आई फील कि उनका uh, जो नोट्स एंड एवरीथिंग अभी कोई रिवाइज नहीं हुआ है. सो एवरीबडी इज जस्ट मगिंग अप द सेम स्टफ एंड डूइंग द सेम स्टफ, एंड एवरीबडी इज ओनली डूइंग सिसरेली एंड बैरन, and that's it. So I feel that we should add more. Okay, now not wasting any more time, let's go. What you should basically do before preparing for this examination. First, foremost, very, very important that you memorize your syllabus. It has to be in your mind. Why? Because you will filter out so many information, what is required by you, what is not required by you. So it's always very, very advisable, whether this is optional, whether it's GS, whether it's prelims. It's always advisable that you memorize your syllabus by heart. Okay, either you keep a booklet around you or you memorize it. It's better that you memorize it, because when you study, you know from where a question can come, everything by seeing the book also, everything, right? So you should be able to memorize the syllabus, and then you should move forward from past years questions. So right away आपको books नहीं उठानी है. पहले आपको past questions देखने हैं of at least 4 to 5 years. Why? Because the trend keeps changing, the type of questions that are coming, the patterns, all of those things keeps on changing. So it's a very dynamic subject that we have, right? So only 4 to 5 years is good for you guys. See the pattern, kind of keynotes, favorite topics जो बार बार आपको लग रहा है repeat हो रहे हैं, इतना तो I think we all have common sense that we can analyze and understand what are the questions or what are the topics which are being repeated, because you've already done the syllabus. So now you can connect, right? Connect the dots from the previous year questions and the syllabus. Now take up your NCRTs. I'm being very, very quick because I'm pretty sure कुछ लोगों ने already ये prepare कर लिया है all of those. You know all of these things. So start with your NCRTs. 11th and 12th, very, very important. Thorough, in-depth study. And now connect whatever exercise that you have done for previous year question. Connect those dots. कि कहाँ से question आया था, कहाँ से आ सकता है, which topic is connecting to which unit and all of those things. Why I'm saying do not skip NCRT, why it's very, very important is because when we'll see in the next section, so many direct questions are there. If not direct, at least there is a reference or there is related to that topic, relationship to that topic. So please do not skip your NCRTs even if you're going to do standard books. Okay. So NCRTs, and then again you're going to repeat your exercise of previous year questions. Why? Because now you will get a holistic idea about the optional. Right? You will know that this topic is coming from here and this is how I have to answer a question. See, let's just say पहले आपने syllabus पढ़ा, वहाँ पे you understood कि there is a topic on learning. Through previous year analysis, you also understood that from learning there are so many questions on behavioralism, there are so many questions on reinforcement, so on and so forth. So when now you do NCRT and you go back to the question, you will be at least able to have some idea कि इस question में मुझे क्या क्या लिखना है, right? So this will help you with this purpose. You can do the same exercise for paper 2, right? Now you can start your standard books, few advanced books for some units. Like for developmental, there is a separate book. For research methodology, there is a separate book, right? But mostly 80, I mean 70 to 80% of your job is done if you do your NCRTs and your standard books. ठीक है, thoroughly, right? And then integrated note making approach. ऐसा नहीं है कि एक एक यूनिट आई मीन कुछ छोड़ दिया, कुछ सोचा कि खुद से कर लेंगे. वेरी वेरी इंटीग्रेटेड, वेरी वेरी होलिस्टिक ऑफ बोथ paper 1, paper 2, and of each unit. Please do not skip any unit. We'll also see why we are not going to skip, right? But also at the same time, understand your strength and weaknesses, right? Why? Because it will be helpful for you to choose the what do you say? Choose the questions that you want to attempt in the paper, right? We'll see why, because obviously we all know, we have seen the pattern that it's an optional. There is an option of choosing from I mean, the rest three that you have to answer, you have to choose. Now, the role of newspapers, of course, it's important, but it's only mostly relative for paper two. Why? Because it's a very dynamic paper and it's very application approach kind of paper. तो अगर आप उसमें current based examples देंगे या newspapers examples देंगे, usually science and technology section में कुछ कुछ निकल ही आता है. ठीक है, तो कीप एन आई ऑन दैट. कभी कभी सोशल सेक्टर स्कीम्स या सोशल सेक्टर वाला जो हमारा एरिया होता है उसमें भी कुछ कुछ अच्छे आर्टिकल्स निकल आते हैं. सो बी अ like very open minded, be very liberal while you're making notes. Sometimes it just clicks कि ये आंसर हम यहाँ पे भी लिख सकते हैं, ये हेडलाइन हम वहां पे भी लगा सकते हैं. Okay, all right. Quickly seeing the question paper. I hope we all know that first and fifth question is compulsory, and third, rest of the three questions you have to attempt one from each, and एक आप दोनों में से choose कर सकते हैं, right? So you have to be very very clear. Why? Because sometimes you will know that there is certain I mean certain areas which you will be able to answer properly and certain areas which you are weak. At times I've seen it's usually research, right? Okay. As you have seen the question papers also, 5 मार्कर होता है, 15 मार्कर होता है, 20 मार्कर होता है. ठीक है, तो उसको आपको अकॉर्डिंगली आंसर करने. सॉरी, 10 मार्कर होता है, 15 and 20. दिस इज हाउ इट गोज यूजुअली, right? And this is how you have to see the word limits also. It's very very important that you see the word limits. Like for the first one and the fifth one, they have already defined that you have to go about 150 words, so roughly a paragraph or so. ठीक है, बट मान लीजिए कि 15 मार्कर है, 20 मार्कर है, कभी भी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन तो है ही नहीं. They've already asking you at least one or two, I mean 2 or 3 questions when they give 15 or 20 markers. Like question number 4 का C part, they have asked 3 schools of thought here: cognitive, gestaltist and evolutionary perspective, or psychologist. So if it's a 15 marker, can you see आपको तीन तीन नंबर का बताने हैं. सॉरी, तीन वो उनका पांच पांच के हिसाब से बताना है. सो यू हैव टू सी द क्वेश्चन, यू हैव टू डिवाइड, and that's how you will answer the question. Okay, so try to be crisp. Do not go over the board and start filling pages and pages and pages. Obviously देखोगे कौन सा ज्यादा important है, कौन सा नहीं है, राइट? कौन सा इजीली आपको आ रहा है, किसके मार्क्स ज्यादा हैं तो किसमें आप जल्दी लिख सकते हैं. कुछ थियोरेटिकली क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, कुछ बहुत हाइपोथेटिकल्स क्वेश्चन आते हैं, एंड सम आर वेरी वेरी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड एंड कॉन्क्रीट. सो try to go for concrete. Why? Because you can just write few points, draw some diagrams and flow charts, and that will fetch you better marks, rather than अगर आप किसी paragraph form के आंसर में चले जाओगे तो obviously I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, right? Try to always, we always have a kind of when we write the answer, we have a format. Start with the introduction, whatever they're asking about that, then the main body and some kind of conclusion. If they're asking for certain example, then that. If they have given certain problem, then try to answer in a solution focused answer, right? Solution focused conclusion देने की कोशिश करें, right? Okay. When it's a 15 marker or a 20 marker, do not exceed more than, let's just say, 250 to 300 or 350. Right? Why? Because you do not have to fill pages over here. You just have to write to the points answer. And you obviously do not have time. So overall, you have to do 5 questions. Okay, just one jump last, and then we'll start with our main analysis. Okay. So I won't be really giving you the answers over here, but trying to explain that, what are the areas they have been asking questions. There's already lot many analysis done कि previous year कितने questions आए थे, इस year कितने questions आ चुके हैं या आ जाएंगे, तो अगले साल का trend कैसा होगा. I will not be talking about that. Why? Because see, the job of the examiner is to set the question paper. Your job is to study holistically, have clarity, and answer any question that may come, right? So, okay, so as we can see, question number one, when they talk about what are the major features do clinicians use to interpret Rorschach responses, right? एक तो ये पहला question and it's a mandatory question, and as we understand, it's a very you can say it's a difficult question. Why? Because Rorschach interpretation or responses of that you won't really find in most of the books. You really have to buy the real manuals, real जो उनकी booklets होती हैं उसके अंदर ये सारी interpretations दी होती है. But nonetheless, we all have internet, right? उसमें आपको बहुत easily मिल जाएगा. But my job is not to tell you कि internet से ढूंढना है. First of all, this is a question of unit number 11, projective techniques. So if you don't really know the answer also, at least you know what are the features of projective techniques, right? So you can answer in that sense. And NCRT has done a very nice job of explaining different kinds of projective techniques. पांच छह तो NCRT में ही दिए हैं, and Rorschach being one of them. So if you have been a thorough reader of your NCRT, कुछ तो आपको दो तीन points वहीं से मिल जाएंगे. Okay? And let's just say कि now this kind of question can come and you do not know how to answer. Okay, so obviously you will start with what is projective techniques. You will talk about Rorschach, who gave it, right? थोड़ा बहुत जो आपको एनसीईआरटी में आता था, मान लीजिए कि ऐसा केस सिनेरियो that you do not know the answer, right? In those cases, now for future, what you should be doing, you should be making such kind of notes for all the projective techniques that they are mentioned in the NCRT, or otherwise if you read in your normal books, normal, I mean standard books that you have. So this is the way of going about. अब ऐसा नहीं है कि प्रोजेक्टिव टेक्निक इस बार पूछ लिया या फिर रोशाक इस बार पूछ लिया तो अगली बार भी पूछ ही लेंगे. बट ये हो सकता है कि किसी और टेस्ट के बारे में पूछ लें. ठीक है. So this was a very direct question, not really direct in the sense कि we do not really know the major features of those responses, but at least we have an idea कि ये questions कहाँ से pick होकर आ रहे हैं. Okay, then coming to your B section, B question, it is coming from unit number 7, prior knowledge of prior knowledge shape encoding in memory. It is from the theories of memory. It is conceptual. If you are clear with the concept, you will be able to answer it. So it can be easy to medium depending on how well you are well versed with this topic, right? And over here, if you want to add on, if you play little smart, you can use unit number 8, perception. How? See, if you understand sensation, attention, perception, and learning or memory, all of these are interconnected, right? ये सारा cognitive psychology के अंदर आता है आपका, and these are interconnected topics, right? So if you know what are the factors affecting perception, can you mold that thing and write what are the factors shaping your encoding? Because पहले जो चीज आप perceive करोगे उसी के through तो आप encode करोगे. Encode is nothing but understanding the meaning or processing that information that is coming, right? So can you use that thing? So this is how you have to be very very holistic in your understanding, and conceptual clarity is very very important. Coming to question number C, Unit 9, emotions, direct questions, right? Easy. You can also use the two-factor theory here, right? So emotion के जितने भी components है, you have to be thorough with them, right? Simply they are asking about describe the physiological and cognitive components of emotion. क्या होता है ये, कैसे होता है ये, and you can probably support your answer with the theory, right? Coming to D, discuss the reasons why rewards may backfire and not produce their intended results for behavior. So this is a direct question from unit number 6, which is learning. And it is like an indirect way of saying it's a criticism of behavior, right? So thoda sa medium hai. Why? Because you have to really tell that what are the criticisms. Why we cannot really say that, reward system के वजह से हम उसको सिखा सकते हैं. Why it can backfire. You can talk about different schools of thought. You can talk about the cons of this kind of teaching, or we cannot really assume that this is a programmed learning and whatsoever. So this is how you should be able to answer. Again, over here, concept clarity should be very, very important for you. You can keep writing your doubts, so we'll be able to I'll take that in the very end. Okay, now the last one in this first one is first question is suggest some strategies for fostering values in Indian setting. So if you have seen the last year analysis also, ये question तब भी आया था, उन्होंने तब भी values and ethics के बारे में एक question दिया था. ठीक है, और उसमें भी उन्होंने ऐसे ही पूछा था कि if you want to inculcate certain values in children, how would you go about it? So this is a, again, repetitive kind of question. You can say it's medium to difficult because you will not really find a straightforward answer for this question. एक तो उन्होंने Indian setting करके थोड़ा सा इसको twist कर दिया है, right? Why? Because if we want to say Indian setting is usually um, um, collectivistic kind of a society. So in those terms, अगर आपको Indian में डालना है, तो आपको वैसे थोड़ा देखना पड़ेगा. Fostering values, strategies. You have to see that how can you make a child learn something, or how do you foster values in your children, or any person for that matter. अभी इन्होंने children नहीं बोला है, but last year it was children, right? So you should not be why I'm saying it's medium and difficult. Why? Because as I said, it's not a very direct question that you're getting. You will not really find in your normal books, you will not really find in your standard books. Something that you have to be very creative about and खुद से लिखने की थोड़ी सी जरूरत है. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा दिमाग लगाएंगे इधर उधर से, आपको you will be able to find the answers. I'll take a look in the end की इस टाइप के answers आप कैसे बना सकते हैं. Okay, question number 2 is what is the role of artificial intelligence in psychology, how it can be applied as an intervention in identifying different psychological abnormalities. So ये दो questions हैं आपके पास. First of all, it's a application based question. ठीक है, it is coming from unit 14, which is your artificial intelligence, which talks about use of artificial intelligence in solving the problems and helping people identify certain things. तो ये दो है. तो पहले तो आपको रोल ऑफ आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के बारे में एक्सप्लेन करना है. इट्स अ वेरी डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन, राइट? सो योर नोट शुड बी सो नाइसली मेड कि कभी कोई ऐसा टॉपिक आ जाए तो आपके पास एक प्री मेड आंसर होना चाहिए. थोड़ा सा मोल्ड कर लो, ट्विस्ट कर लो, तो इट विल बी वेरी इजी फॉर यू टू आंसर सच क्वेश्चंस. Second, they're asking about the application of the very same. So can we build certain questions? Can we build certain kind of softwares, certain kinds of devices which can help us identify psychological abnormalities? We already do that. We already have softwares, we already have certain kinds of computers which are specially made for such tasks, right? So you should be able to answer this thing in this manner. Let's just say आपको कुछ भी नहीं पता है इसके बारे में, मतलब सिर्फ इतना पता है आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस क्या है, तब भी थोड़ा सा जस्ट ट्राई टू आंसर इन योर ओन वर्ड्स. Why? Because there is no right or wrong in psychology. Coming to question number second B, it's a very direct question from memory. Differentiate between meta memory and self instructional learning. Elaborate your answer with a suitable example. See, it's a very direct question. एक टॉपिक उन्होंने मेटा मेमोरी दिया है, एक टॉपिक उन्होंने सेल्फ इंस्ट्रक्शनल दिया है. You just have to differentiate between the two. So this is one of the very favorite uh, trend that they have, or very favorite kind of activity that they do, that they would give you some kind of differentiation kind of question, a comparative analysis kind of question. तो उसमें आपको एक टॉपिक से दूसरे टॉपिक को डिफरेंशिएट करना आना चाहिए. So conceptual clarity again becomes very important. Direct question and easy to answer, right? When they ask examples, you can give any example that you feel is suitable. It can be your present brace example, you can make your own examples. There is no hard and fast rule in psychology. Coming to C, define the precursors of development of item response theory. In which ways will it help in the advancement of the area of aptitude testing? Again, what they have done is, uh, first of all, first of all, प्रीकर्सर्स बेसिकली अजम्पशंस, ठीक है। तो वर्ड समझने की कोशिश करिए, अगर नहीं आता है इंग्लिश में समझ तो हिंदी में भी पढ़ सकते हैं, वैसे हिंदी भी थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्टी लिखा रहता है, बट स्टिल okay. So assumptions of item response theory, so there's always some question or the other from the applications of statistics. मुझे पोर्शन उन्होंने यूनिट 3 में एंड में दे रखा है, applications of statistics. You're going to expect some questions or the other. This year it was mostly about regression analysis and factor analysis and item response theory. पिछले साल उन्होंने अनोवा 2 टेस्ट ये सब दिया हुआ था, बट कुछ ना कुछ उससे जरूर आता है. Again, one highlighting point or something that you can note is that unit 2 and unit 3 say they would usually give you something in terms of comparison, something in terms of differentiation, or in terms of pros and cons or strength and weaknesses or advantage disadvantage, या फिर किसी एक पर्टिकुलर चीज का वो उठा के आपसे डेफिनेशन पूछेंगे, and then they would ask you to construct something on the basis of that or some kind of example that how you're going to use it. This is the maximum they have been asking, कि डिफरेंस बता दो या फिर इसको कंपेयर कर दो या फिर इसके पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव्स क्या हैं, इसको कब यूज करना है, यही मोस्टली दे विल आस्क, ठीक है. इससे बियॉन्ड दे हैव नॉट रियली बीन आस्किंग. So as you can see, this is a medium to difficult one. Why? Because they have integrated aptitude testing over here. Right now, aptitude testing, of course, can be a portion of paper one, but how do we make an aptitude test? That will be a topic from unit one, paper two. So आप देख रहे हैं काफी इंटीग्रेटेड क्वेश्चंस पूछ रहे हैं. इट्स नॉट दैट दे आर ओनली स्टिकिंग टू पेपर वन. अभी दो तीन क्वेश्चंस और ऐसे आएंगे जहां पे दे हैव बीन आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम पेपर टू आल्सो. So holistic understanding of the optional and holistic preparation is very very important. So whenever I take research also, mostly I take unit 2 3 and 1 together, or at least if I'm doing 2 and 3, कुछ topics I do it from unit 1 as well, जो एक साथ ही कराना बहुत जरूरी होते हैं, right? Like validity, reliability, all of those things. So ये सारी चीजें आप लोग एक साथ ही पढ़ें तो ज्यादा बेटर है, because आगे भी आप questions when you will see, there could be so many questions which are interrelated to unit 1 of paper 2. Just like that, second question जो आपका आ रहा है थर्ड में ए पार्ट, डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन एक्सप्लोरेटरी एंड कंफर्मेटरी फैक्टर एनालिसिस, what is their significance in test construction, elaborate your answer with suitable examples. Can you just see the similarity from the previous one? उन्होंने पहले भी यही पूछा कि इसका और उसका क्या डिफरेंशिएशन है, मे बी अच्छा उसमें डिफरेंशिएशन नहीं पूछा, एक टॉपिक के बारे में पूछा, बट हियर दे हैव टेकन फैक्टर एनालिसिस, एंड फैक्टर एनालिसिस के अंदर दे हैव आस्क्ड अबाउट डिफरेंस बिटवीन एक्सप्लोरेटरी एंड कंफर्मेटरी एनालिसिस, राइट. सो डिफरेंस करना है, जस्ट कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी अगर आपको है, एक दो लाइन में आप डेफिनेशंस लिख दोगे कि व्हाट इज एक्सप्लोरेटरी एंड व्हाट इज कंफर्मेटरी, वन एग्जांपल और टू, दैट्स इट, ठीक है. उसके बाद उन्होंने पूछा है सिग्निफिकेंस इन टेस्ट कंस्ट्रक्शन. नाउ टेस्ट कंस्ट्रक्शन इज अगेन अ टॉपिक ऑफ यूनिट 1 पेपर 2. So again I would classify this as a medium to difficult one, and secondly it's an integrated answer, applications of statistics उसके बाद integrated है दूसरे टॉपिक से. So you have to answer accordingly. How you can probably answer this question if you have already been preparing for this paper, that exploratory is when you are trying to find out different factors, different variables, and confirmatory is when you are trying to confirm one single variable or number of variables that you have, that these are short factors related to that particular variable that you're trying to connect or make the correlation, right? तो अगर आपको टेस्ट कंस्ट्रक्शन करना है, obviously I'm trying to construct a test, I want to see the variables affecting my operational definitions, या whatever your operational definition is. जब भी आप टेस्ट कंस्ट्रक्ट करते हो, जो भी आप टेस्ट करना चाहते हो, कोई भी एप्टीट्यूड या कोई भी XYZ चीज टेस्ट करना चाहते हो, उसके कुछ तो फैक्टर्स होंगे जो अफेक्ट कर रहे हैं, and you want to either confirm those things or you want to explore new options in that. So this is how these two things can help you in, right? Okay, keep writing your doubts, I'll just come back and keep reading. In the end, doubt session and उसमें I'll take up all your doubts, don't worry, but keep do writing, जो भी आपके mind में आ रहा है keep writing. Okay, now coming to B, 3B, explain 5 most important perspective to define human behavior. Unit 1 का direct question है, conceptual है, easy है, direct है. एनसीईआरटी भी अगर करते हो तो आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि 5 डिफरेंट स्कूल्स ऑफ थॉट्स क्या है साइकोलॉजी को डिफाइन करते हैं या बिहेवियर को डिफाइन करने के लिए। ठीक है, सो इट कैन बी एनी वन, एनी 5 दैट यू कैन फोकस, बट यूजुअली जो फर्स्ट 3 और 4 होती हैं वो डेफिनेट होती हैं। बेसिकली योर साइको एनालिसिस और साइकोडायनेमिक पर्सपेक्टिव, ह्यूमनिस्टिक पर्सपेक्टिव, behavioral perspective, then you can go for cognitive perspective, gestalt, information processing, कॉग्निटिव के अंदर ही वैसे इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोसेसिंग आ जाएगा। एवोल्यूशनरी पर्सपेक्टिव भी कर सकते हो, ज्यादा अच्छी बुक्स पढ़ ली हैं तो फिर साइको बायो सोशल भी कर सकते हो। तो देर आर सो मेनी अप्रोचेस दैट आर कमिंग दीज डेज, तो यू कैन गो फॉर एनी वन ऑफ द वन यू लाइक, राइट। बट 5 तो ये डेफिनेट होती हैं, यूजुअली 3 तो आपकी डेफिनेट है ही है। ऑल दी 3 waves of psychology is like the most important ones. Rest you can choose. Cognitive psychology you can go for. Why? Because it's very important, it's very trendy, आजकल बहुत ज्यादा चल रही है, बहुत ज्यादा काम हो रहा है उसके ऊपर। And your entire paper one is usually about cognitive psychology. Then coming to C, describe 3 stages of model with special emphasis on working memory. Again, it's a very, very direct question, very simple, static, conceptual. Theory of memory, जो एटकिंसन शिफ्रिन ने दी है, अगर आपने एनसीईआरटी भी पढ़ी है उसमें भी आपको समझ में आ जाएगा। बट ये एडवांस बुक में भी उन्होंने अच्छे से मेंशन किया, बट हियर द फोकस इज ऑन वर्किंग मेमोरी। सो प्लीज बी वेरी केयरफुल कि वो एक्चुअली क्वेश्चन में पूछ क्या रहे। ठीक है, दे हैव बीन आस्किंग अबाउट 3 stages of model which is very easy to explain, but they're trying to ask you how it is connected to working memory or what is basically working memory. So please answer in that light. Okay, coming to fourth, while playing cricket, team A got into a fight with team B. Discuss in the context of realistic group conflict theory. How can conflict resolution strategies be used to manage and control such fights? This is a question from Unit 9, Paper 2, actually. But if you, it's integrated again, क्योंकि ये conflict resolution और ये group dynamics वाला पूरा topic आपका paper 2 में आता है usually, right? But why I am saying this is a direct question or this is an easy question? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, एक तो ये एनसीईआरटी में अगर आपने पढ़ लिया है ग्रुप डायनामिक्स, उसमें एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल दिया होगा बॉक्स में, उसी में ये वाला दिया हुआ है कि जब ऐसे फाइट हो जाती है, जब आप कोई काम कर रहे हो उसमें फाइट हो गई, तो आप ऐसे ग्रुप रेजोल्यूशन कैसे करते हो फाइट में। तो इट्स अ वेरी वेरी डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन, सो दैट इज व्हाई आई एम सेइंग अगेन एंड अगेन, प्लीज डू नॉट स्किप योर एनसीईआरटीज। कुछ कुछ टॉपिक तो आपके डायरेक्टली ऐसे ही हो जाते हैं। ठीक है, why I'm saying it's an easy topic apart from NCERT also, कि जब आप ग्रुप डायनामिक्स की कोई भी बुक पढ़ते हो या सोशल साइकोलॉजी की कोई बुक पढ़ते हो, in that also you will be able to find this answer very very easily. There is nothing very in depth or application approach kind of, या फिर कोई बहुत ज्यादा ऐसे not, they have not really twisted anything over here. Okay, right. So that is why please do not skip NCERT. If you, even if you have not done paper 2 किसी और special book से, at least from NCERTs you will be able to have an idea. Coming to B, how is quasi experimental design different from experimental design? Describe the different forms of quasi experimental design with special emphasis on time series designs. Now this is a question from unit 2, types of design. Like I'm saying, इनका जो एक favorite area है या favorite habit है, they would ask you in forms of differentiation. So experimental designs दिए हुए 3 टाइप के, usually they always ask कि true experimental design से दूसरी experimental design कैसे different होती है। Last year भी ये question आया था। I can say it's direct, but थोड़ा सा in depth है. Why? Because they have been asking the different kinds of quasi experimental design, in which you have to explain what is time series design. तो अगर आपने वो किया है अच्छे से cohort या longitudinal time kind of designs, so you'll be easily able to answer. ये आपके AK सिंह में दिया है, मिनियम किंग दिया है, जो बुक्स मैं recommend करती हूँ, या फिर you know any normal types of research अगर आप search भी कर लेते हो तब भी आपको ये मिल जाएगा बहुत ही easily. There's nothing very difficult over here. And since it's a repetitive kind of a question, you can really highlight this topic. Why? Because they have been asking this question again and again. Kind of experimental, what are the properties, what are the assumptions, what is the differentiation. तो ये जब भी आप unit 2 and 3 prepare करें, please make your notes in this way only. That what is the difference, what are the features, what are the assumptions, what are the strengths and weaknesses, right? Coming to C, any sort of learning takes place with the help of the suitable associations and reinforcement. Critically examine how much cognitivist, gestaltist, and evolutionary psychologists agree with this statement. Okay, this is from a unit 6. Different perspective that they mentioned. Again, it's a direct question, but it's a medium to difficult kind of question. डायरेक्ट इन द सेंस कि सिलेबस में तो डायरेक्टली मेंशन है, बट इनडायरेक्ट मैंने क्यों लिखा है यहाँ पे, बिकॉज इजीली आपको ये आंसर में नहीं मिलेगा. यू हैव टू फॉर्म योर ओन ओपिनियन बाय स्टडिंग द डिफरेंट स्कूल्स ऑफ थॉट, कि लोगों ने क्या क्या बोला है इन दिस स्कूल ऑफ थॉट, एंड व्हाट आर दे बेसिकली ट्राइंग टू से अगेंस्ट द not against but about learning, that how learning takes place according to each of these psychologists. So if cognitive psychology is saying, then it can be information processing theory of learning. If gestaltist is saying, then what is gestaltist talking about learning? If evolutionary is saying, then what is the role of evolution in learning? That are we programmed in a certain way to learn something, और इट इज समथिंग दैट कोई भी मुझे कुछ प्रोग्राम करके सिखा के चला जाएगा और मैं सीख लूंगी बस थ्रू द हेल्प ऑफ reinforcement. Is it like that? So you have to give your own opinion. Again, there is no right or wrong approach, but stick to evidences, stick to examples, and try to support your answer with some kind of data or some kind of um, research studies or anything. It will always be better that way, right? Okay. Now coming to your second compulsory question, this is again 10 marks each, 5 questions. How can a psychologist contribute to the society during COVID-19? Now, as you can see, this is a very current based situation only because they have mentioned COVID. इसकी जगह कोई और situation कर देते तो situation change हो जाती. So this is nothing but a very direct question from your unit 1, how psychology or fields of psychology contribute to societal problems, right? And this is a medium one. Why? Because you have to change or adapt to the situation that they have given. इसकी जगह अगर कुछ और लिखा होता, अगर ब्लैक लाइफ मैटर लिखा होता, राइट, या अगर कुछ प्रेसिडेंट से रिलेटेड या इलेक्शन से रिलेटेड या वैक्सीनेशन से रिलेटेड या कोई और अभी जैसे ट्रैक्टर रैली हो रही है उसके उससे रिलेटेड अगर कुछ लिखा होता, तो आपको उसके वे में आंसर करना होता, right? So always try to keep some ready made answer whenever you're trying to make certain notes now. Try to make some ready made answers. How can the psychologist help? Obviously we know the roles of psychologist. A counseling psychologist is very very important to deal with day to day hassles, and COVID-19, of course, it's a global pandemic that we all are suffering. We all know the importance of psychologists, and that's how you can basically answer these questions, right? Coming to describe brain plasticity and factors affecting. It's a very conceptual, direct question, unit 4. And brain plasticity has been a very favorite topic that they have been asking. What is plasticity? What is brain plasticity? So it's nothing very rocket science over here. If you've been reading your books nicely, you will be able to answer it. Factors affecting it, yes, you have to see what factors basically affect brain plasticity, right? So it can be easy to medium, you can say. Coming to C, discuss the steps involved in effective communication, right? It's a very, very, very direct question from NCRT. Like really, if you have seen your NCRT, अगर आप वो communication वाला chapter में आओगे, उन्होंने diagram के साथ सब कुछ explain किया है कि communication होता कैसे है, how does communication take place, what are the factors affecting communication, psychological skills करके जो chapter है, I think in that. So please see that chapter. And apart from that, in your standard books also, it's a very direct question. So it's better that draw that diagram, you draw that flow chart, you just explain and you're good to go. वैसे भी 10 marks का है तो बहुत ज़्यादा word limit तो वैसे ही नहीं है आपके पास. Okay? Whenever necessary, whenever required, always go for diagrams, flow charts, some kind of diagramic kind of representation. Always. ठीक है? That will really fetch you more marks. Coming to D, how much do family and school environment contribute to intelligence? See, first of all, you can expect one question from intelligence, and there's always something related to heredity environment वाला जो topic है. So unit 10 से ये question है, but heredity environment is something that is very very favorite that they have. हमेशा alternatively या वैसे भी some question or the other they'll definitely ask related to it. Secondly, इफ यू गो बाय अ वेरी इंटीग्रेटेड अप्रोच, इंटीग्रेटेड नॉलेज अप्रोच, कि आपने पूरा प्रिपरेशन कर लिया है, आपने यूनिट 4 भी बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ा है कि डेवलपमेंट कैसे होती है, कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट कैसे होती है, so you will be able to connect that, if you use ecological model or Bronfenbrenner's model, here you can very easily answer this question using that model, and आप उसको diagram के form में show भी कर सकते हो, that how family and school environment contribute to intelligence, right? So this is how you can answer, this is how you can use the knowledge of other units to answer your question for a different unit, right? Coming to E, explain six primary emotions that can be identified from facial expressions. Very, very direct, very easy. Emotion motivation वाला जो chapter है आपका Baron Cicerelli में, they have elaboratively given, or any other general psychology book that you've been using. It's a very, very direct kind of a question. You just have to explain them. That's it. So six है आपका, वैसे ही 10 mark का question है, दो दो तीन तीन line लिखोगे, more than enough. Coming to six, differentiate between Erickson's psychological and Freudian psychosexual theories. Explain different virtues attached to each stage of psychological theory. So usually when I teach my kids, I mean when I take unit 4 uh, ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट चैप्टर, उसी में ये साइकोएनालिटिक स्कूल ऑफ थॉट आता है, एंड उसी में भी बेसिकली सी टू डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ थ्योरीज on how a child develops. So there is Erickson's and there is Freud's, two very very famous one. As the name is suggesting, Freud's it's very sexual oriented, and Erickson's, as the name is suggesting, it's psychosocial. तो उन्होंने social aspect को या social environment को ज्यादा focus दिया है. And in Erickson's theory, when we elaboratively study the theory, he also talked about certain virtues that you attain after resolving the conflicts of each of the psychosexual traits में जो verses होता है ना, ego versus this, initiation versus something this. So जब वो virtue आपकी clear होती है, तो I mean जब वो conflict you clear, you basically reach a virtue. You just have to explain this. It's a very direct question, very easy, very theoretical also. इसमें मतलब if you mug this up, you're good to go. So whenever I'm teaching my students, I always advise them to learn each of the stages that are there. Erickson ने 8 दी हैं, फ्रॉइड ने आई थिंक 4 या 5 दी हैं. वो वर्ड टू वर्ड आपको लर्न होनी चाहिए, एज वाइज आपको लर्न होनी चाहिए, राइट? See, certain topics would be static, certain would be dynamic in the sense कि थोड़ा सा flexible आपको होकर answer करना पड़ेगा. But if your static concepts are clear, if your conceptual clarity is very good, you will be able to answer. You will be able to mold your answer according to the question. And that is what the examiner is looking, because everybody is studying the same stuff. Psychology will remain the same. Everything would remain the same. It's just how you are basically going to answer the question. Coming to B, explain the various assumptions and ways of performing regression analysis. Also compare standardized and unstandardized beta coefficients with suitable examples. I would say this is little in depth, though this is coming directly from applications of statistics unit number 3. It is in depth and difficult, that is why. Why? Because you standardize and unstandardized beta coefficients है, usually it's a step forward when we describe regression analysis. Simply अगर आपने what is regression, what is use or what is the application of regression and what are the assumptions of application, usually we only teach this much. But if you want to go a step beyond and you want to study in depth, तब you will be able to find कि ये standardized and unstandardized beta coefficients क्या होते हैं. See, in any questions, one or two questions would be like that, which are very in depth, and something which is like कि यार ये कहाँ से दे दे, ये तो हमने कभी पढ़ा ही नहीं था. It is only to nervous you, it is only to confuse you, but that doesn't mean कि आप question छोड़ दें, आपको नहीं पढ़ना है. Just be very very wise कि आपको कौन सा question attempt करना है, right? Just be very wise at what question you're going to attempt. That plays a very very big role in fetching good marks. Coming to C, repression is a motivated forgetting process that protects us by inhibiting anxiety arousing memories. Explain its role in dissociative amnesia. Now, first of all, this is a direct question from unit number 11, Psychoanalytic School of Thought, right? Repression वहीं का पूरा topic है, trying to explain what happens. right? Then they have also integrated a topic from disorders. Dissociative amnesia is a topic from a disorder kind point of view, right? And it is a topic from unit number 2, paper 2. So why I'm saying medium? Medium in the sense कि उन्होंने दो अलग अलग टॉपिक्स को या दो अलग अलग यू कैन से पेपर को डिवाइड कर दिया है, आई मीन इंटीग्रेट कर दिया है. But if you have been reading your NCRT, dissociative amnesia is very nicely explained in your NCRT, राइट. स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स में तो दिया ही है, बट डिसोसिएटिव में उन्होंने दे डन अ वेरी नाइस जॉब इन एक्सप्लेनिंग दैट. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट उन्होंने डिफरेंट स्कूल्स ऑफ थॉट भी एक्सप्लेन किया है कि साइकोएनालिटिक स्कूल ऑफ थॉट क्या कहता है डिसऑर्डर को लेके, या फिर बिहेवियरल स्कूल ऑफ थॉट क्या कहता है. सो दिस इज लाइक अ ओपनिंग स्टेटमेंट दैट यू कैन स्टार्ट विद whatever they have given, that why repression is motivated forgetting process that protects us by inhibiting anxiety arousing memories. Dissociative amnesia is nothing but you basically forget certain parts of your memories, right, that you have lived. These memories can be anxiety arousing, and उस anxiety को repress करने के लिए, because it's so it makes you so anxious that you want to forget those things, and वो unconsciously you forget those things, that is basically repression, right? So if you're very clear with what is psychoanalytics, you'll be able to answer this question. Usually the overall paper, as you can see, it's mostly conceptual this year, application based नहीं है इतना ज्यादा. 7th, describe different personality assessment techniques and also highlight their strengths and weaknesses. So this is again a direct question from your, I think I forgot to write the thing. Anyway, so it's a direct question from your personality unit, unit number 11. And again, it's a very direct approach how you need to answer it, because there are only few techniques that they have mentioned. It can be a projective technique, it can be a paper pencil technique, it can be a questionnaire method whatsoever. So if you have done that, if you are thorough with that, even NCRT, like I mentioned over here, even in NCRT they have mentioned this thing, that the different personality assessment techniques. So projective techniques to वैसे ही mentioned है, and they've also given the strength and weaknesses. I think if you have seen it very carefully, 5 points are given on projective techniques, indicating their plus points and negatives. Right? Similarly, paper pencil techniques में क्या क्या problems हैं, क्या cons हैं, क्या pros हैं, that you have to mention. So that is why I've written it's a very easy kind of a question. It's a very direct and easy. It is there in your standard books also. It is there in your NCRTs also. Okay. Coming to B, how are psychological neural cognitive changes associated with aging? I've written this as easy to medium, coming from Human Development Chapter Unit 4. Major changes which are there across the lifespan. For this particular topic, you can go for advanced and standard books. Why? Because you will not really find this very, very easily. They've particularly asked about aging, and aging में क्या क्या changes होते हैं. Last time it was mostly about adolescence, right? This year it's about aging. So what I'm trying to say, or what is the trend, that do not first of all skip any topic, and you can expect कि अगर एक topic से पिछली बार आया है तो उसके थोड़े next topic से next time आ जाएगा. Yeah, be very intuitive in this sense, that if I'm talking about different stages of life, so you should know there is toddler, there is childhood, there is late childhood, there is adult, there is late adulthood, there is so and so forth, elderly. So हर एक स्टेज का आपको अच्छे से आना चाहिए, बिकॉज लास्ट टाइम उन्होंने टीनेजर्स का पूछ लिया था, इस बार उन्होंने एडल्ट्स का पूछ लिया है, नेक्स्ट टाइम मे बी एडल्ट, इस टाइम उन्होंने एजिंग का या एल्डरली पॉपुलेशन का पूछ लिया है, next time they can probably ask about adults, right? So this is how you should be prepared. Coming to C, just few more questions more. How can grounded approach help to explore layperson's definition of happiness? See, again, it's a very direct question, very easy. Unit 2. Conceptual clarity होनी चाहिए that what is grounded theory approach? Why do we basically use grounded theory? And why would we, and as they are already mentioning कि हमें अगर किसी की happiness समझनी है, तो हम ये theory कैसे apply कर सकते हैं? Right? So grounded theory itself is basically a tool to make new definitions or understand a particular phenomena. So it's very, very easy, very, very direct. Here you can go for probably paragraph format, but if you have studied grounded theory approach nicely, there is a stepwise procedure that you follow. So it's better कि आप उस stepwise procedure को लिखें, right, with the help of happiness. If you put the topic happiness and then go step by step that how you're going to create a theory regarding that, it will really fetch you better marks because it's a very creative way of answering the question, right? Layman को definitely flowchart भी ज़्यादा अच्छे से समझ में आएगा. Not that they're asking about understanding happiness for the layman, but just trying to tell you that. Okay. Eighth one, discuss in detail about different attitude scales, and how can we measure intergroup prejudice among students in class using Likert scale, and how can their behavior be rectified through moral education. Now, as you can see, दो तीन अलग अलग चीजें इसमें पूछ ली गई हैं. First of all, it's a direct question from Unit 12, measurement of different values, beliefs, and attitude. Okay, so that they have taken directly. Application भी है, but it's a conceptual question too. So you have to be clear with what is, of first of all, what is attitude scale. Then you should know how you're basically going to use um, such skills, कैसे use करना है. And then again, it's a conceptual kind of a question, or you can say application approach kind of a question, that how you're going to apply this knowledge over, and so that you can rectify the behavior of the kids, right? So three things over here. First of all, you have to write the detail about these skills, then how you can measure it, and how you can apply that thing. Okay, so ये तीनों चीजें आ रही हैं. So conceptual clarity and application both. Again, it's an integrated paper, integrated question, because prejudice is a topic from unit number 9 paper 2 also. ठीक है, वहां पे ज्यादा elaboratively they have asked about in group conflicts, prejudice management, how do we solve all of these, how do we remove prejudice, and social integration, and so and so forth, right? So वहां पे ज्यादा अच्छे से आप ये अप्लाई कर सकते हो. Then give details of facilitating and hindering factors in problem solving. Answer the question by citing suitable example. See, whenever they mention write a suitable example, that means you can really cite any example जो आपको समझ में आती है उस situation में, or you can know any, you can write any example that has been conducted in the past, right? And you can explain that also with जो आपके books में mentioned है probably, or you can, without quoting the name or the year, you can create your own researches and write that, right? It's like a very easy shortcut that is there, though it's not a very full-fledged or full-proof plan, but yes, it will fetch you at least some marks अगर नहीं आता है by chance तो. Now, giving details of facilitating and hindering, it's a very very direct topic from problem solving. Easy standard books में हमेशा जब thinking का chapter आता है उसमें दिया रहता है, right? Okay. Then the last one, what are the different rules of language? Critically analyze the critical period hypothesis. Okay, first of all, critical period hypothesis, it's a very direct question, and ये last year भी पूछा था इन्होंने, so it's a repetitive question, right? So it's like a favorite topic that they have. Then it's coming from unit 2 language, so you should basically know the concept of language, how languages are made, what is the rule behind the language, and when do we develop language. So critical period hypothesis के connection में you try to answer this question. So easy to medium, if you're clear with the concept, then you will be able to answer. You will be able to mold the answer according to the question. So overall, if you see, it's a concept ज़्यादा थे, static portion ज़्यादा थे, applications कुछ ही थे, है ना? कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि application approach ज़्यादा question आते हैं, but this year it was mostly about conceptual clarity, right? And they have a habit of twisting their words. They have a habit of twisting the question, but asking the same thing, right? मतलब जो लगातार जो trend आ रहा है, they have been asking lot many questions from the same topics, like heredity versus this, or quasi experiment or experimental design, या research से एक दो questions है जो बार बार they keep on asking, but it's just they change the language a bit. Okay, so just let's just see the final key points and giveaway that we have, and then I'll just quickly come back to your doubts and queries that we have. Okay, first of all, the very first thing is holistic approach of preparation. So combine the preparation of paper 1 and paper 2. Right? Why? Because you, as you have seen, they have been asking questions from both the papers. So ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने अगर एक ही टॉपिक का पढ़ लिया तो हो गया. Even paper 1 itself, if you have studied one single topic, please do not start answer writing. एटलीस्ट जब तक आपका पूरा नहीं कंप्लीट हो जाता है पेपर, देन देन ओनली स्टार्ट। उससे पहले मत करिए, क्योंकि कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि यूनिट 1 का किसी और यूनिट में यूज आ जाता है, यूनिट 3 का किसी और यूनिट में यूज आ जाता है। सो सिमिलरली यू हैव टू have a very holistic approach of your preparation. Maximum time required is 3 to 4 months of rigorous hard work and smart work. Please be very, very smart. ठीक है? Okay. Then each unit is very, very important. At least one question from each unit. अगर आपने देखा ये, I'll just share this with you if you want. Every unit had one question. Every on average जो repeat हुए हैं 2 से 3 ही हुए हैं, but हर एक unit से जरूर एक question आया. So please do not skip any unit, not wise, but yes, choose the options wisely in paper while attempting based on your strength and weaknesses. So let's just say uh, your research is very very weak और your human development area is very very weak, तो आपके पास जो लास्ट की 3 choices बच जाती हैं जो आपको चूज करना है, प्लीज सी कि आप कौन सा ज्यादा क्वेश्चन अच्छे से अटेम्प्ट कर पाओगे, whether it will be answering is like if you'll be able to answer regression analysis nicely, or you will be able to differentiate between quasi experimental or uh, experimental design easily, because that is a more direct and easy question. ठीक है? तो प्लीज बी वेरी वेरी वाइज while choosing the options. Then expect 2 to 3 questions from research methods. है ना? यूजुअली दे गो अबाउट आस्किंग सच क्वेश्चंस. हर एक क्वेश्चन में आपने देखा होगा एक क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड टू समवेयर रिसर्च इज देयर, राइट? पैटर्न क्या है? लाइक आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू, कंपैरेटिव क्वेश्चंस, डिफरेंसेस, प्रोज एंड कॉन्स, अजम्पशंस, एप्लीकेशंस. ठीक है? Then important units, on average you will expect 2 questions from this unit, which is unit 4 to 11, especially cognitive psychology topics like learning, memory, problem solving, creativity, emotions, etc. कॉग्निटिव साइकोलॉजी जो स्कूल ऑफ थॉट है पूरा, उसके अंदर ये सारी चीजें एक साथ ही पढ़ाई जाती हैं. सो व्हेन वी स्टार्ट स्टडिंग, इट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम सेंसेशन एंड एंड्स टिल योर क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग, जजमेंट, डिसीजन मेकिंग, इमोशंस, एप्टीट्यूड एंड इंटेलिजेंस, ये सारी चीजें आपकी इंटीग्रेट होती हैं. ठीक है? तो ये आपको होलिस्टिकली तैयार भी करना है, एंड मोस्टली क्वेश्चंस विल कम फ्रॉम दिस टॉपिक ओनली. मोस्टली आई वुड से इन द सेंस की ज्यादा चांसेस हैं, एवरेज ज्यादा बनता है इनका. ठीक है? तो ज्यादा अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करें. यू कैन से इट्स लाइक अ मोर स्टैटिक पोर्शन दैट यू हैव, इजीली कवर हो जाता है, इंटरकनेक्टेड रहता है, राइट? एंड प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड इट वेरी होलिस्टिकली, राइट? इट्स नॉट कि आपने लर्निंग अलग पढ़ा है एंड मेमोरी अलग पढ़ा है. सब कुछ इंटीग्रेटेड है, सब कुछ सेंसेशन से ही स्टार्ट होता है, राइट? एंड स्टोर होता है तो मेमोरी तक खत्म होता है. एंड जब आप उसको यूज करते हो एप्लीकेशन में, दैट विल बी योर प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग, जजमेंट, क्रिएटिविटी एंड ऑल ऑफ दोज थिंग्स. सो कॉग्निटिव process is a very very complex process. It's a very dynamic process, right? And usually आपके questions वैसे ही आते हैं, तो कोशिश करें कि उस पे ज्यादा फोकस रहे. At least mug up those topics, the theories and everything, they won't change, right? Okay. The role of NCRT, I hope you could see, it's very very important. Please do not skip that. Direct questions आ रहे हैं, कुछ भी नहीं आ रहा है, मतलब कुछ भी नहीं अगर आपको आता है, आपने वो टॉपिक नहीं पढ़ा, अगर एनसीईआरटी पढ़ी है और वहां से कुछ आपने पढ़ा है तो थोड़ा तो लिख सकोगे, right? Then how to answer questions that you know don't know or are rare in depth topics, how to prepare for such mandatory questions in future, like अभी जो रोशाक वाला आपका आ गया था, right? Please whatever knowledge that you have related to that question, answer that first. ठीक है? थोड़ा बहुत बैकग्राउंड में लिखिए, या जैसे आप कहते हैं ना भूमिका बनाइए, या डू लाइक राइट समथिंग अबाउट दैट टॉपिक, राइट? इट कैन नॉट बी दैट इन्होंने completely ऑफ चार्ट दे दिया है. सेकेंडली, इट वुड बी नॉट वाइज टू थिंक कि उन्होंने बिल्कुल ही ऐसे ब्लाइंडली क्वेश्चन दे दिए हैं. लाइक रोशक वॉज ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट इन योर एनसीईआरटी, इट वॉज ऑलरेडी गिवन इन योर सिलेबस, right? But of course we do at times get into trouble because आ जाते हैं ऐसे अनएक्सपेक्टेड क्वेश्चंस, राइट? सो इट वुड बी वाइज दैट जो भी आपको पता है उस टॉपिक के बारे में एंड यू हैव टू आंसर, देन यू आंसर दैट. बट कोशिश करें उसको एंड में ही आंसर करें, ताकि जो फर्स्ट आपको क्वेश्चन है, जैसे इस बार उन्होंने क्लिनिशियंस वाला फर्स्ट में ही डाल दिया था, अगर आपको फर्स्ट ही क्वेश्चन नहीं आता तो थोड़ा सा इंप्रेशन खराब जाता है, राइट? सो आंसर द क्वेश्चंस यू नो फर्स्ट, राइट? दैट वुड बी बेटर. जो नहीं आते उनको बाद में क्वेश्चन करें. मैंडेटरी क्वेश्चंस को ऐसे फ्यूचर में कैसे डील करेंगे. सो नाउ यू नो व्हाट काइंड्स ऑफ क्वेश्चंस दैट दे कैन आस्क इन फ्यूचर. सो उससे रिलेटेड और जितने टॉपिक्स हैं, ट्राई टू मेक सिमिलर आंसर्स फॉर देम. So they have given good amount of projective techniques, they have given so many other projective techniques like सेंटेंस कंप्लीशन है, थेमेटिक अप्रिसिएशन है, राइट, ये सारी जो हैं तो उसके बारे में भी देख लीजिए कि वो कैसे इंटरप्रेट करते हैं। ओके, देन कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, right? If you're not clear with the theories, if you're not clear with the syllabus, if you're not clear with the knowledge कि ये साइकोलॉजी में आपने पढ़ा क्या है syllabus wise, then it's useless really, because as you can see they have been molding, they have been very very flexible in their asking, and you have to mold your answer, you have to mold your knowledge, because वो तो वही रहेगी जो बुक्स में छप रहा है इतने सालों से, वो वही रहेगा. It's just you have to use your um, answer writing skill, and you have to be very very flexible in answering the question, and that can only come when you're very very clear. And role of revision of course is very very important. If you're not revising, you'll forget. Evan Gos ka jo forgetting curve hai, I hope we all remember कि by the time this lecture is over 50% knowledge तो वैसे ही निकल जाएगी आपकी. So similar thing happens when you start preparing also, and 3 to 4 months का gap है यहाँ पे, I mean time period है, so आपको revise भी continuously करना है. Then how to fetch more marks? Psychology is dynamic, so should be your answer writing approach. Integrated topics हैं, use more diagrams, figures, flowcharts, research and years जो आपके books में mention रहते हैं in brackets. Please do write them. Right? Mention, sorry, use current situation answers or examples. जैसे अभी कोविड से रिलेटेड कुछ भी अगर आपको एग्जाम्पल आता है, प्लीज मेंशन दैट, प्लीज राइट दैट, राइट. And change your dynamic in the sense, please see what the question is asking, what the question is demanding, and mold your answer accordingly. It can be that you have studied something in another unit, but वो किसी और यूनिट का भी यूज आ रहा है तो यूज कर लो. ऐसा कोई नहीं है कि अरे वो इसी और यूनिट का है. So like psychology has application in ethics paper also, please do use. There is no hard and fast rule, right? Just like we have plasticity, brain plasticity हम पढ़ते हैं, similarly your answers and approach should also be very very plastic, very flexible, very modifiable and dynamic. ठीक है. Role of answer writing, yes, of course, very very important, but only after completion of the optional notes and revision thoroughly. Why? Because as you have already seen, let's just say मैंने 2 units पढ़े, I got very enthusiastic, I start doing answer practice writing, but मुझे तो holistically आता ही नहीं है कुछ. हो सकता है कि क्वेश्चन में पेपर 2 से कुछ पूछा था, मुझे नहीं आता उसके बारे में, I won't be able to write a good answer. जितना यूनिट 2 में पढ़ा था उतना ही कर पाऊंगी. Similarly, जब आपका when you have already prepared in a very holistic manner, you can have more ideas to write in a particular answer, right? You can have more ideas to um, write an answer, to mold your answer. किसी और टॉपिक का कहीं और से आपने ले लिया. That is why it's very very important that you have a thorough completion of your notes, revision, and then you start answer writing, because that will also boost your confidence. पहले ही लिखोगे, ज्यादा समझ में नहीं आएगा, it will be a futile exercise. Please do not do that. Okay. Answers can be subjective because we all are human. We all have individual differences, right? This is what we study in psychology. So there is no right or wrong approach in answer writing कि अगर books में ये mentioned है तो यही answer है, या किसी XYZ person has taught you this answer, then that is the right answer. If you're not able to use such fancy words, then you're probably not going to get good marks. No. Or maybe I have told you some answer and आपका approach कुछ अलग है, then also it's fine, because in psychology there is nothing right and wrong. Of course अगर कोई static portion है, if they're asking about Skinner's theory of learning, you have to write Skinner's theory. But let's just say if they're asking something very subjective, if they're asking your opinion, if they're asking your suggestions, you have please feel free to write that, yeah, however you want to frame an answer. There is no right or wrong approach. Just support your view or your idea with some kind of theory or some evidence if possible, right? Or with certain examples. You can always contact me on Telegram, Nimisha001. I've also provided my email, which is getsite0001@gmail. One is my favorite number, actually. Okay, so you can contact me over here. You can take a screenshot, and I'll just come back to your doubts. Okay, so many questions. See, word limit for 15 marker and 20 marker, you can say about 250, 200, 250 for 15, and around 300, 350. इससे ज़्यादा आप मत लिखिए, because अब you don't even have the time. You do not have you do not really have to write in paragraphs form कि आप लिखे जा रहे हो लिखे जा रहे हो. Yes, of course, if you're making diagram and something, that's a different process altogether. But yes, do not waste that much time. अगर उन्होंने 10 marks के लिए 150 बोला है, तो just imagine 150 and 200 के लिए क्या होगा. And it's not that they're going to check word by word कि आपने कितना लिखा है. 20 words here and there, it's okay, but they also have an understanding that how many questions fit, sorry, how many words fit in this, how xyz line. So please do not violate the word limits. Differentiate में we should go point wise, para wise. It's wise that you go point wise. That looks very neat and that looks very very crisp also. And point wise जब आप लिखते हो, let's just say 5 या 10 marks का question है, if you have written good 6 7 points, I would straight away give you that many marks, instead of कि paragraph में मैं पढूं, उतना ना time होता है. See, as an examiner, why would I go paragraph? I would rather see the points that you're given, highlight the points. Starting में थोड़ा सा word जैसे mention होता है ना, to a vocabulary or um, a word that would define the entire sentence, something like that, like psychology dash definition of psychology, something like that. That would be a better approach always. Like paragraph बहुत ही गो फॉर पैराग्राफ जब कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, जब कुछ नहीं आता और कोई एग्जाम्पल उन्होंने ऐसा पूछ लिया है और आपको एक्सप्लेन करना है, ओनली देन. ओके.
मैम कभी कभी तो होता है ना, वी ओनली नो 2 3 पॉइंट्स, तो तब क्या करना है, सिंस इट विल बी वेरी लेस इफ वी राइट लाइक 2 3 पॉइंट्स इन पॉइंट वाइज डायरेक्शन, तो तब क्या करें मैम?
सो स्टार्ट विद एन गुड इंट्रोडक्शन. ठीक है, पहले से थोड़ा सा भूमिका बांधो, इंट्रोडक्शन दो, फिर वो अपने 2 3 पॉइंट्स को थोड़ा सा एलैबोरेट करने की कोशिश करो, गिव सम एग्जांपल्स एंड देन गो कंक्लूड. तो कंक्लूजन अच्छा सा दो उसमें, ऑलरेडी इतना बन जाएगा. इससे ज्यादा वर्ड लिमिट ही नहीं होती है ना, इससे ज्यादा क्या लिखोगे.
ओके मैम.
Okay. How many questions we can write? How many questions? You have to attempt 5 questions. So first one and fifth one is mandatory. Each of them has 5 questions. So 10 तो यहाँ पर हो गए. उसके बाद आपको 3 questions और choose करने हैं, और हर 3 question में there are 3 questions. So 3 into 3 is equal to 9. So 9%, somewhere around 19 questions. I hope my maths was right. Very bad at maths. ठीक है, तो कम से कम इतने क्वेश्चन ओवरऑल आपको 5 क्वेश्चंस करने हैं. ठीक है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 4. I'll just come back, Ankita. When it's asked critically analyze, how should we see critically analyze का. एक तो आप पहले वर्ड समझ लो, हर वर्ड का मतलब क्या होता है. What is evaluation, what is critically analyze, what is evaluate, what is explain, what is describe. तो थोड़ा सा गूगल करो, कोई बहुत मेहनत तो नहीं लगती है, इसको करें समझे, and then you should see what they are basically asking. Critically analyze का मतलब एक हर चीज you have to analyze in a very critical point of view. मतलब हर चीज explain करने के बजाय you have to give certain opinions that what this would mean and what was the evidence and so on and so forth. थोड़ा इस format में आपको लिखने की जरूरत है. Question number 4. सी इट्स अ ग्रुप डायनामिक क्वेश्चन कि जब आपके ग्रुप्स में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स होती हैं, तो सॉल्व करने के लिए हाउ डू यू गो फॉर एन अप्रोच. जो बुक्स में आपके मेंशन्ड है, इफ यू सीन और रेड दी एनसीईआरटी और इफ यू सीन दी सोशल साइकोलॉजी बुक्स, और अगर आपने नॉर्मली बैरन वगैरह कुछ पढ़ी है, तो उसमें देयर वाज दिस एग्जांपल. यू बेसिकली गो फॉर सबऑर्डिनेट गोल्स टू सॉल्व दिस थिंग, एंड देन देयर आर अदर स्ट्रेटजीज आल्सो मेंशन्ड. तो बहुत ही डायरेक्ट है, डू नॉट वरी. When we'll take up this topic, I mean, she's from my batch, so I'm telling her when I take up this topic, I'm going to answer that in that. So it's a topic from social psychology also, because group dynamics is a social psychology topic. तो ये आपके normal standard books में भी लिखी रहती है, but if you want to go a step beyond, what you can do is follow Barron's book for social psychology. Right, Barron की जो एक book होती है वो भी अच्छी होती है. I mean, that's a step forward in your social psychology. I mean to say it's a what do you say? It's an advanced book. Okay. Anything else? Any other doubt that you want to have? I mean, anything? Okay. Which books? Okay. Oh, there are so many questions now. Where do we find the daily psychology news in news on websites? See, there is no ऐसा कोई आपको फुल फ्लेजेड नहीं मिलेगा कि दैट दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू फॉलो फॉर साइकोलॉजी और समथिंग लाइक दैट। जो आपका नॉर्मल न्यूज़पेपर आप पढ़ रहे हो, वेदर इट्स हिंदू और वेदर इट्स इंडियन एक्सप्रेस, somewhere or the other, sometimes there are certain articles science and technology में भी कभी कभी कुछ कुछ sections आते हैं, like how diabetes is related to depression or how neuropsychology is related to xyz, how do we treat autism, how do we do xyz, social integration के ऊपर, या फिर editorial section also they have certain topics at times, some social related issues. Let's just say a few years back when we were doing this open defecation, so many people gave ideas that it's a behavioral change, it's not a thing that you do overnight, aapne bas idea float kar diya and you have created the bathrooms. That doesn't mean that people would stop doing that. So that was a behavioral change that had to be inculcated, and if anything had to be changed in the society, it automatically becomes certain psychology related thing. So keep your eyes open whenever you're reading such editorial. Just try to see how you can use this for your answers. There are so many of them that comes. So कोई बहुत special activity आपको नहीं करनी है. Whatever you're doing for your answer writing, just add one more section of psychology and then you're good to go, right? Whether it's Indian Express में कभी कभी explained में भी आता है, but Hindu is better, I would say, in terms of psychology. Okay, which books to be followed for paper one? You can go for NCRT, then your normal general psychology books, which is your Barron, Cicerelli, Morgan or King, or Passer or Smith. And there are few special books. Obviously, you have to go for research, which is your, you can go for A.K. Singh, which is very, very famous. I usually recommend Miniam King and few other books like Newman, social research methodology book, Newman, and there is also Gregory for psychological testing. And हाँ, ये सारे books से I usually go for. But yes, A.K. Singh ने एक holistically सब कुछ दिया हुआ है, तो you can go for A.K. Singh also. Then for human development, I usually recommend child development book, Laura and Burke, very very good book, but very very bulky, but बहुत it's a very good book. You will find so many material. So कुछ टॉपिक के लिए आपको स्पेशलाइज्ड बुक्स लेनी पड़ती हैं, बट रेस्ट लाइक मोस्टली आपका नॉर्मल बुक से, आई मीन स्टैंडर्ड बुक से हो जाएगा. ओके, एनी अदर क्वेश्चन, एनीथिंग दैट यू वांट टू आस्क? स्मारक स्वयं, इट्स अ गुड बुक. व्हाई? बिकॉज डायरेक्टली आपको एक तो मटेरियल मिल जाता है. देयर इज आल्सो लॉट मेनी रेफरेंसेस फॉर Indian researchers and Indian schools of thought. Um, so for paper two, yes, when you're not having any material, जब आपको कोई material नहीं मिल रहा है, या you have nothing to have a base or an orientation, yes, Mark Swan does a good job. But the problem is Mark Swan has not updated its topics for like I don't know how many years. अभी वो नई book आने वाली है. Yes, they have also given paper one wala, right? So paper one wala I have not gone through that how well they have written the book or something like that. I mean, I have heard that उन्होंने paper one के लिए कुछ launch किया है या फिर question answers के लिए कुछ launch किया है, right? If you're talking about paper two, it's a good book you can rely on just to have an orientation कि paper two को कैसे हम answer करेंगे या deal करेंगे. Why? Because paper two it's a very dynamic and application approach. So you have to be very very artistic in answer writing rather than कि जो book में लिखा है वही लिख दिया, क्योंकि वो बहुत ही application approach answer आएगा आपका. I mean questions आएंगे. Which paper is more scoring? Usually it is paper one. Why? Because there's so much conceptual questions and very static portion. ठीक है, तो memory won't change, learning won't change, theories of these topics won't change. But what they do in paper two is that they have vast questions in social integration, disadvantaged group, community building, education psychology, and it's such a vast thing, and there's so much application in this that they can really play around with the questions. They can really twist the questions, so it's really up to your practice and your it's like an artistic skill that you have to develop only after your completion of the topic. तो वो थोड़ा सा subjective हो जाता है. Why? Because that's your own opinion or there's your own solution that you're providing to the question. Usually the question is in that format. So that is why usually it is seen that paper one is more scoring than paper two. बट ऐसा नहीं है कि यू कैन नॉट रीच दी 300 marks, so you can easily go for good 300 marks or plus if you go by this method. Again, do not go by the usual what do you say, material which is provided very very easily and freely and cheaply in the market. अपना खुद का आंसर बनाइए, अपना खुद का नोट्स बनाइए, आंसर्स लिखिए, एग्जांपल्स लिखिए, बाय, because first of all psychology is a very very, do not everybody is teaching it, very limited material, very limited sources, resources, faculty भी limited ही है, so they know that who all is providing what material is being floated. If everybody is going to answer, let's just say I have 100 copies, all of them is answering पाठक सर की बुक से या स्मारक स्वयं की बुक से या बैरन के वही सेम आंसर अगर आप लोग लिख रहे हैं, so you're not going to get good marks. What will get you good marks is your addition, your own value addition to that topic, your own opinion, your own words. So that is better, your own way of presenting your answer. So जो books आती हैं, it's only to help you. Let's just say there's this book, for paper one, so it's only for references that you get an idea how to answer. Do not please mug and write as it is कि वही जो लिखा है वही लिख दिया आपने. तो कोशिश करें कि अपने एग्जाम्पल्स दें, अपने वर्ड्स में लिखें, कुछ नया लेकर आए. इंटरनेट इज फुल ऑफ गुड मटेरियल, बट पीपल आर जस्ट नॉट डूइंग इट. उनको रेडीमेड मटेरियल चाहिए, रेडीमेड नोट्स चाहिए. दैट वोंट हेल्प इन साइकोलॉजी. आई डोंट थिंक दैट विल हेल्प एनीवेयर. Anywhere, no, as of now I don't have anybody in my batch who wrote optionals. Is it okay to make own solutions? Yes, definitely, definitely. You can definitely use your own references, give your own solutions. That's what you're going to do for GS also, right? GS में भी वो आपसे कुछ ऐसे questions, sorry, for ethics also they're going to ask your own points, they're going to ask your own reviews, or they're going to ask your own solutions. So this is how you're going to answer. And in ethics also you can make great use of psychology because कुछ topics बहुत repetitive हैं, values, attitude change, social psychology के कुछ कुछ topic ethics में भी repeat होते हैं. So you can definitely give your own opinion. There's no right or wrong approach in psychology unless they've asked you a very direct question from a topic. Must to read coaching material. Um, I frankly will not suggest any. अपना खुद का करिए. There's no dearth of material. You can find it very very easily. Books आपको easily मिल रही हैं, PDF आपको मिल रही है, नहीं मिल रही है मुझसे मांग लीजिए. खुद से पढ़िए थोड़ा. See, I'm not against any coaching. मैं खुद ही batches ले रही हूँ, but I am only a facilitator. I'm only a mentor. I'm not here to first of all fetch money. I'm taking like this is my third batch, and I try to keep it very very minimum. Like मतलब बहुत ही basic कम बच्चे लेती हूँ ताकि उनको भी quality मैं समझा सकूँ. And it's मेरे लिए भी overburden नहीं होना चाहिए ना कि इतने सारे बच्चे ले लिए अचानक से and कुछ हो नहीं रहा है. And whatever I can commit to, I only do that. So, if you're preparing on your own, if you're good with your own subjects, I've seen so many people doing very well. I mean, जो psychology वाला जो group है, I think, um, तो वो तो वहाँ पे इतने सारे लोग हैं, वो खुद ही इतना अच्छा लिख रहे हैं, जिन्होंने आई थिंक कोचिंग नहीं ली है. So if some people are like that, they're good to go. Some people need certain help, certain mentorship. That is also very important. So because without the mentorship, you won't know whether what you're studying and how you're going is right or wrong. So I would not really say कि कोई particular coaching material, though I have seen, like I've heard reviews of certain coaching material इतना अच्छा नहीं था, right? At times I do provide Pathak Sir's notes only and only when a student says कि मुझे ये नहीं मिल रहा है या फिर आपके पास कोई खुद से आप नहीं बना पाते हो, तो just to get an idea कि इन्होंने ये पढ़ाया है, तो आपको अगर यहाँ से देखने हैं तो आप देख सकते हैं. Because I do not personally give any notes, I do not dictate any notes. मैं बस पढ़ाती हूँ. मतलब my job is only to teach and give reference and give guidance. That's it. Yes, definitely. I will definitely share. I have been actually giving to lot many people for free. ऐसे ही मिल रहा है वैसे भी. तो मैं उसको रख के क्या ही कर लूंगी. Anything else? Anything that you want to ask related to the questions? All right, so I'm closing the session now. You can definitely contact me if you want to know about the batches, also upcoming batches, or otherwise, if you want to show me your answers, your preparation, your note making strategy. एवरेज टाइम बहुत ज्यादा टाइम तो नहीं होगा आपके पास. आई थिंक 10 to 15 मिनट, आई थिंक 10 minutes और सो. यू हैव टू बी सो क्विक. खुद टाइम करके देख लो एक दिन. 10 minutes ही होते हैं, उससे कम ही. It totally depends on your timings. I usually take evening batches, and I do provide recorded lessons. I mean, whatever lecture I take, I record them and I provide it to you so you can watch it. Like, I have certain people in my batch who are working maybe or who are doing something, and they watch lectures at their ease. They come with the doubts, I resolve their doubts, they share their things. So, totally up to you if you're comfortable. All right, so I'm closing the session now. You can definitely reach me through the mail ID that I've provided, getsite0001 at gmail, or my Telegram ID which is nimisha001. ठीक है, और गेट साइट जो चैनल है हमारा उस पे भी आप यू कैन रीच मी आउट. आई विल डेफिनेटली ट्राई टू रिप्लाई. आई डू टेक सम टाइम बट आई डेफिनेटली रिप्लाई. आई एम नॉट वेरी active on other pages, okay, or other channels, okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for all your questions and being here with me. Thank you. Your tattoo, it's my parents' name. It's Ritu Ritu and Ravi this side. I recently lost my father in November. I mean, I was going to start a batch in this December 1st, but I lost my father on 28th, and I thought I will not take it again. But the students have been really helpful and they have been really kind. So this tattoo now means a lot. पहले इतना इतना भी नहीं था, but now it really means a lot. And this was another reason why I was not really active. But I mean, this is something that keeps me going. कुछ तो दिमाग लगता ही है ना? चलो, thank you. It's okay. Okay, bye bye.